Dave Levin, thank you for joining us at Elon.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
We're delighted to have you. Tell me how KIPP schools are different from a traditional public school. What's your elevator message about that question?
Yeah, so there are 99 KIPP schools in 20 states serving about 28,000 kids. And there are 5 things common to all KIPP schools. This idea of high expectations for academics and character, this idea that there is more time, so we have an extended school day, extended school week, and extended school year. This idea that it's a choice and commitment on the part of all of our teachers to be there, to agree to that. It's power to lead, so that of our principals and our regional leaders. And then finally, it's this idea of focus on results, complete transparency of what we do well and what we're struggling with. And because of these principles, what we call the 5 pillars, we've doubled the high school graduation rate in our neighborhoods. We've tripled the college matriculation rate, and we've quadrupled the college graduation rate.
How do you recruit the best teachers for KIPP schools?
Yeah, so we have 2 KIPP schools here in North Carolina, one in Charlotte and one in Gaston, and we are always looking for great folks, and this is how we recruit. So if there's anyone watching who is an outstanding teacher, we're always looking. And what makes teachers, so I mean, some of it is just simply, people want, good salaries matter, right? But also working as part of a team matters, and getting support from your principal matters, right? And KIPP schools work because we have outstanding principals and outstanding teachers working as a team. And that's what really makes a great school work, and that's how you attract people, and more importantly, that's how you keep people as well. And if you think about why teachers leave the profession, very often it's a lack of support, and secondly, there's an uncertainty about what the future holds. So you can have a great year, and then the next year your work may or may not be continued. At KIPP, you know your work will be continued, pre-K through 12th grade, and then through college.
How would a teacher's salary at a KIPP school be different from, say, a starting teacher's salary in a traditional North Carolina school?
Yeah, so in all of our KIPP schools, we generally, our teachers' base pay is the same as what it would be at a regular public school, and then it's roughly 20% more than that.
Wow. Tell me about your thoughts about why you think American children are lagging behind their international counterparts in tests of science and mathematics and reading.
Yeah. So I think when you look at what you described, sort of how America is lagging behind, it comes down to expectations and accountability. So we're simply not expecting enough of our public schools. The rigor of what is expected is too low, and then the accountability for delivering those results is too low. And therefore, as kids fall behind, there's no accountability for them to catch up, and it just gets worse over time. So you see our 4th graders are half as far as behind as our 8th graders, right? So that gap doubles, and then it continues to over time. And so I think it's a combination of those 2 things, expectations and accountability.
And are you seeing some of the best practices from KIPP translated into traditional school systems?
Yeah, absolutely. You're starting, on a basic level, kids are going to school longer. And I think that's in large part to folks seeing the success of schools like of KIPP. Secondly, you're starting to see districts now really try to use their data more systematically, right? So first of all, they're making it public, which is a great thing. Second of all, they're using it not just to evaluate folks, but more so to drive improvement. What can we learn from what we're doing? And those things have been sort of central to KIPP's success from the very beginning. And the other thing, which is hard in today's times with the economy the way it is, part of what KIPP has done is our kids go to school from 7:25 to 5. They go to school on Saturdays. They go to school during the summer. And with all these hours, in order to make school fun, you have to do all the co-curriculars, the sports, the music, and all these things. And unfortunately, too often schools are cutting those out.
Right.
And we've brought all those back. And you're starting to see school districts wrestle with that, because once you cut all of that, you sometimes take away the things that make school, fun.
How are families connected to schools?
It's a great question. So all of our kids come to us through blind lottery. So without any regards to their prior academics or behavior, their names literally get picked out of a box. And then following enrollment, we do a home visit with every family. We meet them in their homes, and we have a commitment to excellence form. and it outlines the expectations that we have for ourselves as teachers. It outlines our expectations for parents. It outlines our expectations for kids. We give every parent and every student our cell phone numbers, and we're called all the time by people. And it's basically this natural relationship. We talk about team and family, and it's that relationship of team and family that really makes KIPP work.
Wow. Tell me about how a KIPP classroom is going to be shaped by technology in coming years.
Yeah, technology over the next 5-10 years is going to fundamentally transform what classrooms look like, both at KIPP and elsewhere. And it'll be in really three main areas, I think. One is this idea of what teachers are able to deliver, right? So this idea, before you get to the part of like, will technology ever replace teachers, which we actually don't think is doable, how teachers deliver instruction will be fundamentally changed. What you can produce on video, what you can have in an iPad in front of kids, the type of multimedia stuff you can bring in to do a science lesson, fundamentally changed. Second, the idea of independent practice, right? No longer will kids have to all move in the same, do the same activity at the same time in the same way. They'll be able to work much more independently on a much more sort of adaptive way based on their own individual needs, right? So what the kids learn will change, how they practice it will change, and then how teachers use data will fundamentally change, because data will be much more real time. You'll be able to get it pretty close to instantly. You'll know where your kids need help, and ideally you'll have a menu of activities that will, and resources that will allow you to adjust what you do. And those three things are going to happen at KIPP over the next stretch, and will happen everywhere.
You are the father of two young boys.
I am, Max and Zach.
Are you optimistic about the America they're going to inherit from us?
I'm incredibly optimistic. There's plenty of reason to be concerned, but I'm optimistic because I think we've always solved our problems, and this is a huge problem. But I think what you're starting to see now is you're starting to see more and more young people get committed to becoming teachers. You're starting to see more and more young people get committed to these public causes. And as that happens, that's what gives me hope for how this will be solved for Max and Zach. That's why I'm here at Elon, because the more we can talk to college kids and say, look, you know, the solutions are for you to build. The solutions are yours to bring to the next generation. And the more and more I'm on college campuses, the more you hear from college kids that they're eager for the challenge.
Dave Levin, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for your insights.
Thank you for having me.